Assalamu alaikum. This will be a tutorial on React, specifically the Lab 10 React.js. So in the lab, inshallah, I'm going to show you how we can develop the complete Lab 10 application using the banking app as an example. So before we start, I want to show you a demo of the application that we want to create, and then we will start developing together. So I went ahead and ran the application. So the application is running now. So it will look something like this. In the beginning, everything will be loaded. When you go to this route, accounts/list, we'll load all of the accounts. If someone selects current, we show them the current account. If they click on all, we show them all of the accounts. And if account is 0, there will be a delete button next to it, and other accounts, they will all have this edit link. So if someone, for example, clicks on the edit, they can come here and edit the account. For example, they can make the account's balance 0, and now this account became 0. Okay, or change this account. For example, it was a current, they can change it to being saving, and when they submit it, it becomes saving. All right, so what other things you can do with this application is when you go to, if you click on the plus sign or add, then you can select saving, and I can select something and submit. Now you'll have the new account added, which is saving, and 1 2 3 2 1. Okay, next you can also add transactions, like for example withdraw or deposit money. Let's see, for example, this guy has a 0 amount, this account, and we want to give him some money. Let's give him 88888, and you can see now this person now got the 888 balance. Okay, so this is exactly what we would like to create. So before creating our project, we want to divide this project into components, and the components that we will be creating will be something like this. So the top part will be a navigation bar component, then we will have a table component, then we will have the add component, where when they come here, this is the add component. We also have the add transaction component, and the accounts component which will compose all of those things, and the app component. So don't worry about this. Inshallah, the more we code, the more you will understand how everything fits together. So without further ado, let's move to the development. I'm going to close this one, and before I delete my application, I just want to show you what we have done in the lab last week. This is what we have done. We created all of these components, and this is how our project look like. So in this tutorial, what I will do is actually I'll delete everything. We'll start from scratch, and then we will develop all of those things again together. So I'll start by deleting this. Delete. So by the time you're watching this tutorial, I expect you to have a clean project, okay, from the Lab 10 React.js. So in Lab 10 React.js, I gave you the banking app. This is basically the end solution where you will reach by the end, and this is what we are trying to use. Okay, so use this one, do not use this one. This has the solution, and this will be the one I will be using for the tutorial. So please copy this one. You can copy this one and put it wherever inside your repository or wherever you want to put it, and open this banking app alone. Please do not open the directory that this project is located, or otherwise you will not be able to follow up this tutorial. So when you open, you have to make sure what we see in here is only the banking app, and not a directory inside another directory inside another directory. All right, so once you open it, you will see this files. I don't need the dist file, for example. I only need this, and we will start developing our application. So step one is, of course, also you don't have the node modules. By the time you're having this project, you will only have this. So the step one will be to install. I already put for you here a readme file, is to first install this thing called Parcel Bundler. So for Mac users they use sudo, for Windows users they only use this part, and you will write this here and you will press enter and it will install for you. In my case I have already installed it, so I don't want to install it again, but it should be installed. So for Windows you will do this, and for Mac you will type sudo in front of this. All right, and you will enter, it will install for you. Okay, what's next? Next is to install all of the packages that I shared with you. So if you see here, I have already gave you all of the packages needed for this project to work. So the way you install it is you just first of all make sure you are in the right directory by dragging. Maybe you can drag the banking app or right click on the banking app and say open in terminal, and then type npm i. When you do npm i, it will install all of the dependencies needed for this project, and this project basically needs the React Router DOM, React Router, React DOM, React Morgan, and all of these things. Okay, so once we run the npm install or I, all of this will be installed and they will be stored where? Yes, so once you install it, you should see node modules, and node modules will have all of these things installed. Okay, it might take a little bit of time because it's trying to install all of this stuff, so you might see it in a bit. Okay, so be patient, wait for it, and this will come. Once you see this node modules, that means everything is installed and you are set to go. So the first thing we want to test is our server, if it's running correctly or not. So the way you test it is you'd say nodemon, and here as you can see I have already provided 4 scripts, and when I run nodemon it will run the server for me, and if I click on the server, now my server is running. Of course you will not see anything, but if I go to /API/accounts, I will see all of my accounts, and if I put question mark account type saving, I will see the saving. If I put current, I'll put current. Now if you don't see any accounts here, that means you don't have any accounts inside your database. So either you can do one of the two things. One is if you had another database with a different name that had the banking accounts, please use that. Otherwise what you should do is go to Postman. You can go to Postman and start posting some accounts to this route. So once you open Postman for you, you can go to the post method post, go to body, and of course I have been posting some accounts before, so you can change your account type. You write account type like that, balance like this, saving or current, and then you put some money here, and then you send it. The moment you send, then it's gonna post for you that account. Okay, account is created. And how do I know if it's created or not? When I do get and I send, I should be able to basically get all of my accounts here. Okay, now you can post more of them, more accounts like this. And before starting the tutorial, make sure you are getting all of the accounts and they are exactly like this. So the ID should be _ID, account type, and balance. We don't want to have any other properties here, or you will be confused in the tutorial when we use, for example, _ID and you're using account number, or I'm using account type like this and you're typing it differently. So if you can follow up the tutorial with your own names, it's up to you. But if you want to follow this tutorial without any glitch, then do what I have done, install everything, go to Postman, post a couple more accounts. It's very easy to post the accounts. You only need these 2 properties, and fill up some data, saving, current, some 0 accounts that have 0 balance, and you're done. Okay, with using post, I mean. So that's it. Once you set up all of these things and everything is running, now we will start going to the client side of the application and develop the web user interface using React.